This time it's different, says the official slogan of the European Parliament for the European elections. But that's maybe nowhere more true than with the Eurosceptics. The Dutch politician Geert Wilders has announced an alliance in the new parliament with other like-minded parties from other countries in order to wreck the EU from within. And in the Netherlands, he's leading the polls.
Welcome to Euronews, Mr. Wilders.
Thank you.
Now, what's the point in running for a parliament which you would prefer did not exist at all?
Well, as long as the parliament exists, well, there should not only be one point of view heard, which is the sound of the Europhiles in Brussels today.
In a nutshell, what's your main criticism of the European Union?
It took the sovereignty of the Netherlands away. Commissioners are in charge now that nobody in the Netherlands knows, and even worse, nobody elected them. As an example, there is a lady from Sweden, leftish liberal commissioner, Mrs. Cecilia Malmström, who is in charge of our borders now. We cannot even change the way that we want to deal with immigration. The European Union costs us a lot of money. The Dutch are per capita the highest contributors to the European Union.
Now, your party is set to become the biggest here in the Netherlands and also in other European countries in the run-up to these elections. It is clear that Eurosceptic, Eurocritic feelings are running high. Now, let's just imagine your party and other parties would win an outright majority. What would you do?
I would get rid of the European Union besides the internal market. I wish that the European Union would have stayed how it started in the 50s. Economical cooperation, once again maybe together with an internal market. We want to, even if we leave the European Union as the Netherlands, still have contact, have access to the internal market. We can only benefit from that. I'm for internal market and for free trade. But it should be an economical union. It should not be what it has become, unfortunately, a political union, a kind of political superstate.
That assumes that the European Union does exist as something which guarantees a kind of economic stability on the continent. But if all richer member countries would follow your line of thought and leave, the internal market would be gone, isn't it?
Now, I think why shouldn't we be able to keep working with an internal market without a political union?
In the more likely event of your and your allies being able to form a strong group in the parliament and not winning an outright majority, how would you proceed concretely?
I think that if we would have a good result, it will also be historical what will happen in the respective countries itself. Imagine the United Kingdom Independence Party gaining more than 30% of the popular vote, or my party 20-25%, or the party of Mrs. Le Pen in France getting 20 to 30%. It will not only change the European Parliament, but it will be an earthquake in the domestic politics in Europe as well.
You have been preparing these European elections for a long time by forging an alliance with other Eurocritic parties all over Europe. And your main partner here will be Marine Le Pen from France's Front National. But is that really a partner for you? I mean, this is a party which views diverge totally from yours on social topics like gay marriage, which is seen still by many as anti-Semitic.
I don't think they are anti-Semitic. I wouldn't have tried to work together with that party when her father, Jean-Marie Le Pen, would be in charge. I think the party has changed since Marine Le Pen is in charge there. And hey, everybody is asking me the question why there are so many differences with other parties. Look, for instance, at the Christian Democrats. Our own Christian Democrats in Holland, but also the party of Angela Merkel, the Bundeskanzler of Germany, has worked for years with Mr. Berlusconi, the man from the Bunga Bunga parties.
Are there limits? Are there Eurocritic parties in other countries you would not be prepared to work with?
Of course. We will not work with parties that are proud or at least advocate racism or anti-Semitism. For instance, the Jobbik party in Hungary or the British National Party in the United Kingdom. But I am more ambitious than only working with Mrs. Le Pen. I would also want to work together in a group with Mr. Farage. I really respect him, from the United Kingdom Independence Party. He keeps the door open to my party, but he's very hesitant, if not negative, to work with the Front National. I hope that after the elections there will be even more room for him and other parties to form a stronger group than is in the news today.
You mentioned Marine Le Pen and you mentioned Nigel Farage. Both of them, a couple of weeks ago, had a little bit of a showdown by Farage accusing her, not herself, her party, of still, I quote, carrying prejudice and anti-Semitism. Now, you might not share his estimation, but isn't that the perfect illustration of what many think, that the Eurosceptics will just not be able to overcome the differences and will be busy fighting each other at the end?
Well, I hope that is not true. It would be a very sad thing that at that historical moment where the Eurosceptical parties will win, that we would not be able to overstep some differences that I will not ignore that do exist.
On the evening of the local elections here in the Netherlands, you came out in front of your supporters here in The Hague and asked them if they wanted less or more Moroccans in their city, and the crowd answered by chanting less, less, less. Now, you are known as a harsh critic of Islam, but you always said it's against the religion, it's not against the people. Now, the question here is, haven't you crossed the red line? Isn't it now against the people?
No, because I mentioned Moroccans because Moroccans are overrepresented enormously in the Dutch crime statistics. More than 60% of the Moroccan youth under the age of 23 has been arrested by the Dutch police. And they are in general, when it comes to violent street crimes, 20 times more often been arrested on many crimes.
But if a given society has a problem with members of one particular group, is it wise for a politician to ostracize the whole group?
Well, no, you know, it's wise to tell the truth. I did not invent that people from Morocco are overrepresented in the statistics.
Is that high rate of crime because these people are Moroccan, or is that also because they are unemployed?
I'm not a psychologist or sociologist. I don't care why people are criminal. I know that the numbers that they are criminal, and I want tough penalties.
But is it understandable to you that Moroccans who are not criminals have a difficulty to swallow what you are saying?
Moroccans who are here in the Netherlands are not criminals, have nothing to fear from me or my party. As a matter of fact, I know that the majority of the Muslims even in the Netherlands are law-abiding people. But I am a politician, and somebody in Holland should state the facts. And the facts are that Moroccans are overrepresented enormously, and almost half of the Dutch population agrees with me, whether you like it or not.
Mr. Wilders, thank you very much.
It's my pleasure.